The storm slammed against the highway like a warning, but Daniel Parker didn't have the luxury to wait it out. His old truck rattled as wind roared across the empty road, and his wipers fought a losing battle against sheets of rain. If he didn't get home soon, his 8-year-old daughter Emily would be alone, and she was terrified of thunder. He told himself to focus, drive, get home, be there for her. What he didn't know was that his entire future, his job, his daughter's custody, everything he had left, was standing just 3 miles ahead in the dark, drenched and stranded. And she needed him. Daniel almost missed her at first. A dim hazard light blinked weakly through the fog, and a small figure stood beside a stalled black sedan. He passed her by a few meters before his conscience screamed louder than any thunder. He couldn't leave someone out there, not even with everything he was carrying. Daniel reversed his truck and rolled down his window. "You all right, ma'am? You shouldn't be out here." The woman, soaked from head to toe, tried to smile. "My car just died. My phone too. I could really use some help." Something in her voice was soft but exhausted, like she wasn't used to asking for anything. Daniel grabbed a flashlight. "Pop the hood. Let's see what we can do." For the next 20 minutes he worked in freezing rain, hands numb, clothes dripping. His boots sank into mud. His flashlight flickered, but he didn't stop. When he couldn't fix it, he offered her a ride into town. "I don't want to trouble you," she said. "Trouble? Ma'am, we're both already soaked. Might as well freeze together." For the first time she laughed. "My name is Linda," she said as she climbed into the truck. He didn't recognize her. Not in the dark, not in the rain, not without her courtroom robe or the stern authority she was famous for. Judge Linda Hart, the woman who would decide whether Daniel would keep custody of Emily or lose the only family he had left. But to him she was just a stranger who needed help. As they drove, the storm grew worse. Power lines were down, streets were flooding, and the town felt abandoned. Linda noticed how carefully Daniel drove, how often he checked his phone for messages. "Your wife waiting for you?" she asked softly. Daniel shook his head. "She passed 3 years ago. Car accident. So it's just me and my little girl now." Linda's heart sank. "I'm sorry." He shrugged, though his voice cracked slightly. "Emily thinks I'm some sort of superhero, but I'm just trying to keep the lights on, the rent paid, food on the table, and tomorrow there's a custody hearing. Social services thinks I can't give her enough." His knuckles tightened around the wheel. Linda watched him. This man who had stopped in a storm, who had helped her without hesitation, who spoke about his daughter with a mixture of fear and fierce love. "You seem like a good father," she said. "I'm trying," he whispered. "I just need someone to give me a chance." For a long moment she didn't respond, because she was that someone. When they reached town, she asked if he could drop her at the courthouse steps. The power was out except for emergency lights giving the building an eerie glow. As he pulled up, she turned to him. "Daniel, one more thing." He frowned. "How did you—" Then she stepped into the light. Her hood fell back. He froze, the face he had seen on paperwork, on local news, in community meetings. "Judge Hart," he whispered. Her voice softened. "Yes." Daniel felt the air leave his lungs, his stomach twisted. She wasn't just someone he'd helped. She was the one who held his whole world in her hands. "I didn't know," he stammered. "I wasn't trying to—" She raised a hand. "I know, and I'm grateful for that." A long silence passed between them, heavy with fear on his side and conflict on hers. "Good night, Daniel," she said gently. "I'll see you tomorrow." Daniel barely slept. Emily clung to him the next morning, scared he wouldn't come back home. When he finally entered the courtroom, his heart was pounding. Judge Hart walked in, calm and unreadable. Not a hint of last night showed on her face. The room was quiet. Case after case passed until it was Daniel's turn. He stood, stomach tight, palms sweating. Judge Hart looked at him, not as the soaked stranger who had helped her, but as a father facing the hardest fight of his life. The social worker spoke first, listing Daniel's struggles: late rent, unstable job, old truck, overdue bills. Each word felt like a hammer striking his heart. Then it was his turn. He spoke slowly, honestly, voice trembling. "I know I don't have much, but I love my daughter more than anything on this earth. I'll work 3 jobs if I have to. I'll fix everything, every mistake. Just don't take her away from me. She's all I have." The courtroom was silent. Judge Hart looked at the man before her, the man who gave kindness without expecting anything, who protected a stranger in the storm even when he had his own storm inside. She took a deep breath and made her decision. "Mr. Parker," she said, "this court acknowledges your challenges, but it also acknowledges your character, the compassion, responsibility, and integrity you have demonstrated." Daniel's heartbeat stopped. "This court finds no reason to remove your daughter from your custody. Instead, we will provide support services to help you stabilize your situation." Daniel's knees nearly gave out. The room blurred. Relief hit him like a wave. Emily's little voice echoed from the back. "Daddy?" He turned, tears spilling, and hugged her so tightly she squeaked. Judge Hart watched the embrace, her eyes softening for just a moment before she regained her composure. As the courtroom emptied, Judge Hart walked past him. She paused. "Daniel," she said quietly, "thank you again for stopping last night." He swallowed. "Thank you for everything today." She smiled just a little. "Take care of your daughter, and take care of yourself." Then she walked away, not as a judge, but as someone who believed in him. Daniel left the courthouse holding Emily's hand, stepping into sunlight that finally broke through the storm. Life wouldn't be perfect. Bills would still come. Work would still be hard. But he had his daughter and hope. And sometimes that was enough to change everything.